We're wrapping up today's episode on baking with dietary restrictions with some advice for beginners. But during the break, you mentioned something about the grains being tested. Tell me about that.
We felt we needed a little bit more integrity. When you become celiac certified or gluten-free
Yes.
certified, they ask you where your suppliers are from. And so we wanted to go the extra mile and not only provide suppliers of the ingredients and justify that they are gluten-free, we
Hmm.
also get all grains that come into our bakery tested monthly. Anytime there's a new lot that's made for us, we get it tested, and we have a strict under 5 parts per million
That's
for gluten.
wonderful.
The Celiac Society is under 20 parts per million, but we like to stick it to 5. We wanna make sure everything's really safe.
I really appreciate you
Thank
going
you.
that extra mile. It makes a difference for people. So, what tips do you have for people that, want to apply these things at
They
home?
wanna
Are
do
like,
it at
okay,
home?
it's so daunting to think about. I'm going to go home and try to make some dairy-free, gluten-free products and have them turn out well. Like, you
Stick
have
with basics.
stick
Stick with
with
a recipe
basics.
that you know, grandma's cookie recipe, and when you're starting, gluten-free flours are a little more absorbent than traditional flour.
Okay, good
So if
point.
it's the recipe calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, start
Mm-hmm.
with a cup and a half. Then you
Mm.
know that texture, but it's always a little bit less flour than you need.
A
That's
little
usually a
less flour
yeah,
so that it doesn't end up being extra dry. And
yeah.
so what are some other go-to swaps,
Oh,
that you to swap out this and you can use
yeah.
that? Like you mentioned the flaxseed powder instead of
All of
any
these items here that you see are
yes.
vegan, and
Okay.
the swap out that we use is we use flaxseed. We use
Okay.
a flaxseed egg, so it's 3 parts water to 1 part ground flax. It's just a huge replacer in the bakery for all of our sweet treats and baked goods. Great tip for that.
Okay. Any others?
We're big on coconut milk. We
Okay.
stay away from dairy. We stay away from oat milk. We're finding oat is a huge allergy.
Is
Soy is a huge
oh
allergy. And almonds is a nut, which is also a huge allergy. So we use coconut milk, and we find it's the best neutral tasting substitute.
oh, interesting. All right. So any other advice for home bakers to avoid pitfalls? You said the one and a half,
Yeah.
but you know,
It's hard. It's hard to convert a recipe. This took me
yes.
so
Yeah,
long.
right?
Um,
You get that grandma's recipe and you're like, I
yes.
really want to have that flavor, but
I know, and you find a recipe online, and you're like, "I'm gonna make this. This picture looks so great," and you get it, and you go, "This bagel doesn't look like a picture." Read your reviews when you see recipes
okay.
online. Read the reviews for people who have tested that recipe out. See if they have any substitutes or anything that they've used. Definitely, when you're converting, definitely start with the less flour. And 1-for-1 flours are fabulous.
Okay. Good to
The
know.
King Arthur 1-for-1,
Mhm.
Rob's Red Mill 1-for-1 are fabulous. Silly Plug, the bakeries 1-for-1 is really fabulous.
Mhm.
But we just want people to bake at home and not
Yes.
just come to us. It's a part of family, right?
It
For us,
is.
it
And
is.
trying to make it the norm and not make it seem like it's this enormous difficult mountain to climb that you're going to have
Yeah.
horrible turnouts. So, what have you found has been the most rewarding thing about starting edible options?
I'm gonna cry. Um,
Ah,
this is the most rewarding part is having a little girl come in or a little boy and giving them their first cupcake.
oh,
Giving a family came in this weekend. They were from the United States and they were up, and the little girl had her first slice of bread that she's like, "This is what it's supposed to taste like." And
really?
mom says, "Yes." We have a little girl, her name's Hazel, and I'll never forget her having her first cupcake. She loves a vanilla cupcake with vanilla icing and pink sprinkles. That's her go-to. She loves the whoopie pies, but it's just that giving a child something they normally can't have,
Right.
giving someone a cupcake for their child's birthday party because they have someone who can't have something, a cupcake, a traditional one.
Yeah.
It just means the world. Giving anybody something they can't traditionally have is, I
I
think,
l-
is definitely the most rewarding.
do you have
Yeah.
any plans to expand?
Whew, I always tell everyone I can't handle the one I have. It's so fantastic, but we'll see. Maybe one day.
Well, and any plans to add on extra product like
Always,
always?
always challenging our bakers to come up with new and creative things.
Well, you are doing an amazing job and you are changing people's lives. And thank you so much for sharing tips as this is a growing community and we need to learn how to do better. So thank you for coming on the show
Thank
today.
you for having me.
For anyone out there who is discouraged from trying tasteless, dry, gluten free, dairy free baked goods, I hope your hope is restored knowing businesses like Edible Options Bakery do exist. It is possible to create delicious, dietary restricted baked goods. You just have to find the right bakery or the right recipe for yourself. Thanks for joining us. I'm Julie Stellan, and until next time, take care.